Good evening. Yeah, theoretically you can get them. We don't have the resources to get them. How many more Magicite do I need to auto? I don't know. Yeah, we're doing a preview. The record board abilities? Yes, they're character specific. I guess I've only done 6, so I need to do 8 more. I guess might as well do a couple right now. Yeah, it just, I was occupied a little later than I thought I was going to be. The first 2 abilities that I'm going to pick up are most likely going to be Squall and Renoa. Cloud eventually gets, I think, a wind and a dark ability. But that's, it's actually a while from now. Well, I might, Andrew. Don't know yet. It's pretty unlikely that I get it for if I just have the stuff that I have. Even though she's pretty good, even with just the stuff that she has. Congrats. Yep. So choose carefully. Well, while we're autoing some mana cores, let's get the preview all set up. He doesn't need to. The hero ability doesn't have a school requirement. That's crazy. There's another Final Fantasy VI event a month and a week from now. Estimated. Yeah, it helps a lot. Animations? Yeah, probably. And yeah, I'll go over everything. If we haven't gotten it global, then it's clearly of high value to go over. Just die already. I'll run one more of these and then run the preview, since I am starting a little bit later than I planned on. Ooh, it's the Alara Sync Festival. Now I kind of remember it. Good evening, E-Daddy. Was it any good? Yes, we are, Borat. Specifically, next festival. Yeah, Stragos is a very good one. Is next festival the debut of limit overflows. Still, even if they weren't, it's a good thing to give us something to talk about. Top healer awakening at the moment? It's a tough question to answer. Like, by itself, or do you want to include the character that it's on and everything that that character can do? By itself. So this is why it's a tough question, because my answer would be Vanille. But it's clearly not the best healer awakening. Because, you know, you gotta take the rest of the character into consideration. It's the best awakening, but it most certainly is not, because Vanille doesn't have any spammable speed trick. I don't think she does, Ryan. Not yet, at least. Let me see. Yeah, she doesn't have it yet. When she does get it, then we can talk. But judging by the fact that Alara gets a High Quick Cast 2 sync in the next festival, by the time that Vanille gets her spammable Quick Cast USB, Alara just bursts back onto the scene and takes the crown again. Wow. Both runs were 19.8 seconds on the dot. Even with the randomness. I'm sure I will when we eventually get there. Well, you put that in parentheses, Borat, but I feel like that's kind of significant. Papalymo and a sail in a realm with... Have I auto? No. I've only make auto teams when I need to. So, because Manicore is the mission this week, that's why I made an auto Manicore team. Yeah, Papalymo and a sail in a realm where the realm healer has magical high quick cast and last stand on her spammable USB. I think that's a significant boost to the... This is like a Final Fantasy XIV banner plus Tyrone Alara. But I will get to that when I start doing the preview. All right. Hey, what's up, Adia? I really need to, I need to make a new playlist for music. It's gonna take some time to put that together. Should have time during the quarantine. Yeah, I'm not going to talk that much about 5th anniversary because I know I'm going to go over them in depth when the banners are actually released. So I don't want to spoil the surprise for myself, since I haven't really looked at them at all. Yo, what's up, Mazamune? Well, we don't know that. The banners aren't released yet, E-Daddy. We'll see. Summer Festival. They could come out tomorrow. Any day now. And we're only a few days away from the festival. Well, hopefully you don't get flagged for any of this music. Okay. So we're going to take a look at the next festival, since the festival after this one hasn't been released yet in Japan. And the festival before this one hasn't been released yet in Global. A few days away from that, maybe tomorrow. Hopefully as soon as possible. We do have some information on this festival, which is 3 months away. It's the summer festival. It'll be the end of June. And though ours will be a little different from theirs, as it always is, and has been since the beginning of time, because time started when Final Fantasy Record Keeper started. It does make sense to at least take a look at it and look at the new things that are going to be happening. And it's only 3 months away, so maybe knowing what's on these banners and what's happening during this festival will influence the decisions that you make during the festival that's currently going on. So let's take a look. Don't really need to look at this because we're going to see them when we look at the banners. New record boards. Papa Limo. Love me some Papa. A sale. Okay. I mean, she was always been a really good character since her release because of that USB. It's surprising and fun and cool that she's getting a lot of love during this festival. And I did bring this up before I started the preview, that Papa Limo and a Sail are together in a very, very mage-focused realm. And because the next level of content is going to be Phantasm, which is basically the next tier of Torment. So they're realm-based teams is what we're making again. The synergy of using mages together with a mage-focused healer is actually a pretty big deal. So Papa Limo and a Sailor are two people to look out for on this in this festival. Kuja, I believe Alexander comes out around the same time as this festival, so Kuja actually has a 6-star Magicite as well as Phantasm role. Ignis, I don't really know much about Ignis. I do know he's basically the support, or the buffing support of Final Fantasy 15, so that may be something Phantasm focused to take a look at. Sephiroth, again, same thing as Kuja, except Sephiroth has a much greater role when it comes to the Alexander fight. So Sephiroth getting a record board here is pretty important. Alex should be out by then. Let's see. We got Shiva coming out April 15th. Then May in May should be Veil 4. Then June is going to be Alexander. So exactly. Alexander will be coming out before this festival if they keep a monthly release schedule. Our Shiva is late. For Japan, they had a different schedule, but we are global, so I'm gonna be referring to the global schedule. So Alexander will be the Magicite of record at this time. So Dark is gonna be on the minds and hearts of people pulling. Yuna, I wish I knew what the hell was going on with Yuna. I hope she gets some kind of cohesion during this festival, but who knows? And Sarah is a powerful character, but water and ice focused. So we'll see how that works out. Not going to be timely. Yeah, exactly. One great thing about the current festival that's going on is you basically get the Alexander Conquering kit for free if you would like it. With Sephiroth's Awakening, his Arcane, and his LMR. Sarah. E. Sarah with an E. Sarah is actually a character, which is why I correct you. Wow, you're right. Sarah's record board ability. 7-hit. It's like a witch ability, but it's black magic. It's kind of interesting because they try to make her a water character, and I think they succeed in making her a decent water character. But her hero ability is just pure ice. That's an extremely powerful ability, though. 7 hits? Yeah, okay. Sure. Rem, Bartz, Sephiroth. Sephiroth's second hero ability, his first being Taboo Raid. Ignis gets a hero ability? A lot of these seem pretty basic, other than Sarah's, which is more powerful than most. And Tyro's, which is... Tyro gets weird. Tyro gets really weird during this festival. So I'm going to have to go probably in depth into Tyro, just so I can understand what the hell he's all about. So we got 3 single target ranged prismatic, which means Omni Elemental. Charges user's soul break gauge by a moderate 120. Is that that's not including vulnerability? So vulnerability will boost that to 180. So it's a wrath. It's a wrath that deals damage. So that's his hero ability, and that's awesome. And it is support, so it will work with his USB 4, with his Awakening. So you don't necessarily need his Synchro, though this is obviously made with his Synchro in mind, and we'll get to that very shortly because it's the first relic on the first banner. Let's get that off the screen. Okay. So, those are record boards and hero abilities. Oh, yeah. Prismatic is just a fancy name officially given by the game to refer to all elements. I think we've been calling it Omni. We'll see what they call it eventually when it gets put into the game for global, and then we'll just switch to that. It'll probably be prismatic. I'm fine with that. It's fitting. So, Banner 1, we have Tyro's Synchro, Fantasy Grimoire Volume 2. Instant self. Attack, magic, mind, defense, resistance. Pentabuff. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 surviving party members. So it's an instant 50% buff as long as everybody's alive. To himself, conditional and element. Prismatic elemental damage plus 50%. Synchro mode. And break damage cap level run. So it's pretty nuts. But I don't see... We gotta know what this is all about. And, you know, you can probably guess what this is all about. Oh, man. I probably need to clone this tab just so we can... Or open Enliers. I'll open it. Alright, Tyro's Synchro. The attack command is 4 times single ranged hybrid prismatic. Self high quick cast 1. It's any. It's an any sync. Is the first one of those? So it'll sync with anything in the game, which is kind of cool. I did not know that. Defend any. Self-conditional and element. 180 soul break points. High quick cast 1. It's an interesting level mechanic where if you level it up to level 5 sync, it gives him dual blink 1 at the start of the fight, as well as a 10% pentabuff. What the hell is up with this sync? Alright, N element for user depends on the highest amount of specific N elements in the party. Each stack only counts as 1. So it gives him N element. Based upon the highest stack level of N element in the party. If nobody in the party has an element, Tyro gets nothing. Don't do that. I'm going to do that. If I get this relic, I will do that so much. What's up, Blender? Blender decided to come say hi. Okay. Alright, so Tyro's Synchro. Yeah, let's freaking clone this tab. There we go. Break damage cap. So the elemental damage 50% and the fact that he provides himself with an element means he's going to actually deal real damage. As well as generate 1,000,000 soul break points. So how do you spend those soul break points? Yeah, the hits will cap because there are only 3 hits. I guess you entrust, but it's not like he doesn't have a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, and he can't entrust while synced. Really? Well, okay. That's not a bad thing. It just removes your options, so there's less to think about, I guess. It's not like for 15 seconds you can't figure out stuff to do with Tyro. Because he has a million soul breaks to use. I wish he had a prismatic arcane instead of holy. They should retroactively buff it. Okay, so this is alright. This is amazing. Definitely meant for 6-star Magicite, basically to clear 6-star Magicite and move in solidly into old content territory. But as far as what I know about the Phantasm fights that I talked about is that you're not as penalized. You're not penalized as heavily for bringing out of realm characters as you were for Torment. For the longest time, bringing out of realm characters in the highest level of Torment was just a death sentence, which was eventually overcome with Awakenings, which were just way too powerful for Torment content. As Psychotic brings up, both Tyro and Alara are so good at what they do, and the fact that they can fit onto any team in the game. They do work very well as characters brought to Phantasm teams. So that right there it just speaks to how versatile Tyro is. Back in the day, I wasn't really a big fan of Tyro, and that held for quite a long time. But now I think, he's a legitimate protagonist to Record Keeper. He's the rug that pulls the room together. Alright, that's Tyro Sync. I'll go over animations after I'm done going over the entire banner. Yeah, this is the original. So Alara's sync next. This is the second of two syncs on the banner. Looks a lot more simple than Tyro's, but we'll see. Instant Party Medica, Curaja level, Regenga, High Quick Cast 2, Synchro Mode, and Break Damage cap, which is also with a healing cap. So she'll be able to heal up to 20,000 with her Synchro active. So it is her USB 1, but with Synchro Mode and Break Damage and Healing cap. Now let's take a look at the commands. White Magic. Oh, nice. The first command is sync to White Magic. The second command is sync to Bard and Dancer, which I'm really happy about because, she's got Dancer 6, and it's awesome. I even though I have her and use her Awakening, I still use Dancer because Passion Salsa is so awesome. And I just always, dislike the fact that they kind of made her a white mage bard and, forgot about her dancer capability. But I guess that's been solved now. So she has a Medica that she can use that will also cast Passion Salsa. Or, whatever else you want to use. Whether it's one of those 5-star abilities for the purpose of canceling out buffs and debuffs and whatnot. But I suppose let's take a look at that first command, which is an instant Kiraja and self ability heals plus 30%. Does that just mean anything that's not a soul break? I've never heard this terminology before. To Enliers. Yeah, Salsa is a fixed heal. I don't even think Healing Boon affects it. White magic heals 30%. Oh, it does? Increases... Okay. Oh, increases healing done by white magic abilities. So anything that's typed white magic. So it does not affect soul breaks. It will affect, you know, the sync chases. Okay. So it does what it says it does. It's just I'd never seen it before, so I wanted to confirm. It's really just the other... Something we've been dealing with a long time with, you know, damage output. That anything that's like... Yuffie used to get a lot of plus ninja ability damage in her, you know, record and legend dive. Which is why her soul break output was weaker than normal, because all of her damage output pluses were, you know, focused on doing ninja ability damage rather than, you know, water damage or physical damage. So this stuff only affects white magic. For a, oops, an example. Her sync commands. You'll see it on Enliers. I don't know if you can see this, or a lot of people probably watching on mobile can't see this, but there's schools attached to a lot of stuff, and there's schools that are not attached to some stuff. Soul Breaks being in one of them. They don't have a school, so they won't get this bonus. Yeah, she does. Oh yeah, that's another one. And that's probably an important one. Is Alara's LMR 1, 25% chance to cast an ability after using a Bard ability. It casts a Medica. I believe this Medica is typed white magic, even though I don't think it's actually stated anywhere on Enliers. It'd be something to test out if I get that. Okay, anyway. Alara Synchro, really basic, but that's okay. Because it's just her USB 1 improved. It's taking it to the next level. And, well, her USB 1 is one of the best soul breaks that the game's ever seen. So, that says a lot. That says a lot about this. So, two really generic, entire game useful syncs to open up the banner is a good start. And after that, we have 4 Awakenings. Papalymo Assail, Tyro's Awakening, old. Kuja's Awakening, also old. But the new ones, let's take a look at Papalymo and Assail. As I talked about before getting into the first banner, these are actually two important awakenings. So Papalymo looks pretty... Oh, it comes with Quick Cast. So not only does it have an awakening ability, but it also comes with Quick Cast on it. Power creep. Though we still currently have these in the game, it's not a base awakening, and that's a good thing. Chase 2, 4, or 6. So instead of 3 and 6, like a lot of base awakenings, it's 2 and 6. Party fire 30, 40, 50% for a turn. So 3 turns of baller fire output. I guess more than 3 turns, technically, depending on how it works out, because turn-based things, I talked about this when Tyro's Awakening first came out. Turn-based things, when they're applied externally, can affect more than 1 turn, even though they say 1 turn. For instance, you have Papalymo and Terra on the same team. You start casting an ability with Papalymo that's going to trigger one of these, and then you start casting an ability with Terra. So Papalymo's goes off, applies 30% increased damage to the entire team. Then Terra's ability goes off. It benefits from this, but it doesn't use it, because you only use turn-based buffs when you select the ability and then start casting it. So not only will Terra benefit on that turn, but she'll benefit on the next turn as well, when she finally expends it. So it's... this is a very interesting awakening buff. It's party fire damage, though, which I don't really like. I guess it's fine just for him, but I'm thinking in terms of Phantasm, because that's the important part. He's likely going to be paired up with Assail and Alphino. Or, you know, one of them. Yeah, there's Ida, but she would be lower priority than them. Because she's a physical character, so the team would be tougher to buff. Plus, Ida doesn't get any benefit from the stuff that Y'shtola provides to the party. Yeah, I'd prefer hits. So it's an interesting awakening, but I'm actually not a big fan of it. Luckily, he does get quick cast. So 15 seconds of quick cast after casting the awakening, which is in fact extremely powerful in a Phantasm scenario. I believe so. Yes, Ryan. Someone will have to confirm that, though, because I don't know personally. I've just heard secondhand. So it's still a good awakening for Phantasm. Just it could be a lot better. No quick cast on Assail, but that's okay. I'd rather hers did other stuff, because she gets a quick cast 3. Basically a cycle in her Legend Dive, where Papalymo gets a dual cast, so hopefully hers does a bunch of damage. Umbral Freeze. Chase 2 Summon with self instant cast 1 and ice damage 50% for a turn. That is underwhelming. Yeah, I mean, she's designed to use Shiva, but she's a witch. So why would I limit myself to a 4-hit ability when I could use a 6-hit ability on a character that has quick cast built into her dive? Yeah, but again, why not? Why use Shiva twice when I could use Witch 3 times and probably deal more damage, completely ignoring this awakening buff at all? Yeah, it depends on how hard you need to hit the count. But, it's thematic because the sale is very, very lore tied to Shiva. But I dislike both of these awakenings. They could be so much better. I think they're underwhelming for what they are. I'm sure they're still probably more than sufficient for the Phantasm. I just was hoping for more. Let's take a look at... well, we don't have to look at Tyro's Awakening. That is old. Old, and we know it is very good. Kuja's Awakening. Old, but not as well known, so I'm going to go over it. Elegant Angel of Death mode. Alright. Self-High Quick Cast. Chase 2 Dark with Self-Dark damage plus 10%. So it's basically Rem's Awakening, except Chase 2 Dark with Dark damage plus 10%. And I'm assuming that that's a stacking buff. So if you use it twice, you get 10%, 4 times 20%, 6 times 30%. Right, Necro Countdown is insane. Yeah. And Kuja is a very good user of Necro Countdown with his 35% chance to dual cast. So he can really take down his Doom counter. So yeah, Kuja's Awakening is very good. And the high quick cast is extremely useful in a Phantasm situation. Sail Arcane. Alright. Here we go. The Sail has a 21 hit Arcane. We found a use for that buff on her Awakening. Ice damage plus 50% for a turn, self-instant cast 1. We know what this is for now. It's not for Witch, it's for that Arcane. Holy shit, will that Arcane do a lot of damage with this. I feel a lot better about it now. Even if I run in the fight charging her up with Shiva and then switch to Witch. Wait a second. No, wrong page. She get a hero ability? No, unfortunately not. Okay, never mind. No, you have to chase to summon. I don't know what you mean. So you... I don't... Where did I go wrong? Yeah, why can't you switch to Witch? As long as you use 2 summons before you know that you're going to use the Arcane. So what you would do is charge up with Shiva, then use Witch until you need to use 2 summons to cast the Arcane. Yeah, I think I got I interrupted myself while I was explaining what I was talking about. Never got that far, so it's my fault. Okay, so this is a very good arcane because it really enables her awakening to be more than just a kneecap. Yeah, pretty much. Though I think you probably only want to witch twice, maybe. Because you want to make sure that the break damage cap is active while the arcane goes off. Kuja Chain. Oh, nice. This is the Generation 3 Dark Chain. It's interesting. I didn't know that this was on this banner. Instant Party Magic 50%. It's only a 99 chain, but that's okay. Because it still has the 50% field bonus that's on Generation 2 chains. And it has dark damage plus 20% as well. So these are more powerful than Generation 2 chains. I think mostly for the instantaneous aspect. Field damage is something that's always been a part of chains. When you use a Generation 1 chain, it buffs everyone's elemental damage of that chain type by 20%. If you use a Generation 2 chain, it buffs everyone's damage of that elemental type 50%. Just by default, without the chain having anything to do with anything. That's just a buff that happens while the chain is up. And it's, the reason why it has a different name than, like, this, it's not dark damage plus 70%, is because of, just calculation. Multiplicative and additive and stuff like that. The fact that it's a field bonus is better than if it were dark damage 70%. Oh, yeah. The more, Catgirl can do, the better. That's my motto. So, Magical Dark Chain. It's kind of interesting. It's too bad I don't think there's anybody in Final Fantasy IX that can actually join him on a Dark Chain, so it would be strictly for elemental purposes. Tyro Glint Plus, it looks like this is new. Sentinel Apocrypha, Instant Party Defense and Resistance Plus. Okay, so Instant Wall for free. Okay. Pretty good. Yeah, Alex is coming out. Dark Chain is very good. Hell, I may even like this, even though I have a really souped up Cypher now. This would be a nice thing to get for taking out the other version, the Magic. I would love to use Kefka and Kuja together. So yeah, Instant Wall. This is a great thing to have for Phantasm, I think, because it's another reason to bring Tyro. He can just start out the fight instantaneously, or even on third turn if you want to use his 2 instant actions on from his LMR for something else. Instant Wall, and then that will be what you do if your healer of that realm has a Glint Plus. Like Lena, for instance, has a Haste, Protect, Shelga, Glint Plus, so you use these 2 together. Wait, isn't Papa's LM2 Double Cast Fire? Yes. Well, I was going to get to that, Mazumune. Oh, they do give auto wall? Never mind then. I didn't know that. And never mind, this Glint Plus isn't that great. It's more like a catch-up mechanic then. This would be great for 6-star, not Phantasm. And off on a little tangent about that right now, we did just get a buff in Global where unique abilities are half cost. So they don't cost 500 Soul Break points, they cost 250. So Tyro's Sentinel Grimoire and Ishtola's Stoneskin 2 are 250 Soul Break point cost wall. If you pair that with a healer's Glint Plus to give the party haste and protect and shell, you've now cast Tyro's USB 3 for 250 Soul Break points, just at the cost of one other person's turn. So that's an interesting thing that some people may be able to run in their teams. Good catch. Yes, it will. Oh, maybe. Life will change, I know we'll get flagged. I'll give it a shot. I'll see if this song will. It's like, I thought I removed that from my playlist after it got hit. Anyways, moving on. Papalymo Glint Plus. Oh, that's interesting. Instant stacking and 250 Soul Break points. That's probably so much better than the other glints. And Papalymo's got a shitty regular glint, which didn't even give him stacking. So this is a really good thing for Papalymo, for both Phantasm and Magicite. Isail is the same thing. I really love that 250 Soul Break points. With stacking. Like, that's such a powerful turn. Tyro, weakness damage 20%. I don't know. I guess because he doesn't have that many good legend materias, it's fine. But it really is meant to be used with his sync and his hero ability. It might be useful. His 20% is a powerful damage boost from an LMR, thinking about it. It's a lot, actually. People get 20% through their LMR with weapon-specific stuff. This is kind of fun that his isn't weapon-specific. I don't have any plans for 6-star dives, but Alara. I'm sure I'm going to do Alara, I just haven't thought about it yet. And then hopefully I'll have a good reason to do Squall and Renoa in the Final Fantasy VIII event that's going to be coming. And again, I guess I'm surprised I'm bringing this up twice on the same banner. 20% weakness damage is actually a different calculation. So it's a multiplicative bonus, which is good. It's means it's higher than just additive, because it's not something a lot of people have. You know, you got school-based damage, you got type-based damage. Not a lot of people have access to weakness damage, and so this adds to the weakness damage chain, and then is a multiplicative stack with elemental damage and stuff like that. So it's good. It's good. Papalymo Dual Cast Fire. So it was brought up not too long ago in chat. I wanted to wait till we got to it. Papalymo's the first character in the game, besides the Barts and the Shantoto triple casts, to get 2 forms of dual cast legend materials. A 35% chance in the legend dive and a 25% chance legend materia relic. And Edgar too. But I personally have found myself disliking the triple casts because I think they're too unpredictable, and a lot of the content. Yeah, I said Bartz and Shandota first. So Ryan says, so that means he shouldn't use this LMR with his own RM. Oh, yeah. Probably. So, weapon damage record materia is actually a physical damage. So what it does is it gives you plus 30% physical damage as long as you have this equipped. So it's PHY. And basically, this is hyper optimization. You don't really have to worry about this that much. But there's different damage boost categories in the game. School-based, type-based, which is what we were just talking about, PHY, WHT, BLK. There's school-based, black magic, ninja. And what you want to do is spread out your damage boosts so that you can take the most advantage of multiplicative bonus you can, instead of, full stacking one of them, like dark damage, dark damage, dark damage, dark damage. You don't want to do that because you're costing yourself a little bit of damage by making it an additive boost instead of multiplicative. And what I was talking about with weakness damage is rare. So weakness damage is something you can add as a different stack with elemental, holy damage, school-based, night, type-based, physical. So all four of those can work together multiplicatively. And that's kind of weird to think about, and honestly, don't rack your brain over it, because it's not that big of a difference. But it is for, real min-maxing. And that's why you'll see me equip record materia, or think about my record materia choices for characters all on my teams, because I'm thinking, and then I can open it up. See me when I'm constructing teams a lot. What I'll do is long click on a character, then go to sphere skills, and you sort by potency, and all of their damage boosts rise to the top. So this is, I know just by being well versed in Enliers, that this is plus 3% PHY. This is plus 15% BLK. It's not black magic ability damage, it's black magic damage. So I know this is BLK, and obviously this is plus PHY damage. So what I'll do is I'll read these, and I'll use those to figure out which record materials are most suited for the character. So that was a weird little tutorial to go off on. Dual cast LMRs aren't as fantastic as they used to be now that Awakenings give dual cast and break damage. Well, yeah, it depends. And it's hard for me to say because I haven't seen any of the Phantasm content. It's all just secondhand information on what people tell me. So I don't know, what their defenses are like. What, how much damage we should expect to be doing against those bosses. But I know, facing 6-star Magicite, that there are many situations that I would like to do more damage. Or I would like to dual cast, because being able to dual cast, takes off more rage stacks. There's, I really need to order what I'm going to say here. I think both have their place. Dual cast LMR and plus damage. Sometimes you need to break rage when you couldn't break rage. Sometimes you break rage well, and want to break it twice. Do I want to depend on RNG? Well, yeah, sometimes. If it's a bonus, 25% isn't a low chance. You should expect at least one or two of those per fight. So obviously you don't want to base an RNG rage break on a specific turn, but if breaking it once or twice more over the course of a fight is what allows you to do the damage that you need, then yeah. Yeah, sometimes you don't want the extra. That's why I don't know if I've talked about it in stream. It might have just been Discord, but the 100 Mithril Awakening Select banner for Japan. It may be different for us. I hope it's different for us for my sake. But for Japan, geez, hiccups. It has Bartz's LMR 2, which is, I think, plus 20% Spellblade damage. I would much prefer that to his triple cast LMR most of the time, just for the sake of consistency and because he has some damage problems sometimes, so I'd prefer to give him the added ability to break rage. So 35% dual cast, yeah, that's fine in most cases, though I didn't use it on Titan. I used one Legend Materia. I took off all of his dual casting Legend Materias for that fight because I just didn't want it. Dual cast can be dangerous sometimes. So yeah, dual casts aren't the end-all be-all that they were, but they're still good. And Assail gets dual cast nice. Like I talked about for Assail early on the banner that she's a quick cast 3 Legend Dive. So her getting dual cast ice is very good, especially if you're using her with Witch. Witch or Summon, or both work very well with dual cast. Summon because you're limited to 4 hits, so you get a high or a low damage cap, so you want to expand that damage cap. And Witch because, that's 1,000,000 hits, and then you can do 1,000,000 hits twice. Or 3 times, whatever. So, Banner 1, how do I feel? It's got three strengths, 3 avenues. One being Tyro and Alara being, the generic Final Fantasy record keeper. They help everything characters. And both of them will help everything, even 6-star and even Phantasm. So it's got that going for it. Next up is Papalymo and Assail become pretty powerful characters on this banner. And they are valuable to the Final Fantasy XIV Torment. Not Torment, Phantasm, because the Realm Healer, Ishtola, whose USB 2, I believe is or will be available on Animal Lenses by the point that their Phantasm comes out, is mage focused. Though Ishtola does gain the ability to become a black mage witch in the future. And I believe Alphino is the second choice for healer in the realm. Just kind of funny. So even though I like Assail a lot more than Papalymo's Awakening after seeing the entire banner, but both of them are very powerful characters, mages in a very mage focused realm. So that's 2 Phantasm Awakenings for Final Fantasy XIV, which is usually very difficult to gear for. And then you have Kuja with his Awakening and Generation 3 Dark Chain. They added a new character to be a healer, I actually never really followed up to see what they made LSA. She's a red mage. So I didn't figure that she would be strong enough as a dedicated healer. So I still kind of view Ishola as being the queen bee when it comes to heals in 14. Unless, they gave LSA something crazy for healing. Is it primarily a wind mage? Alright, so I stand by Final Fantasy XIV being a realm, or a mage realm. So Papalymo and Assail's Awakenings are very strong. And then Kuja with his Awakening and Chain is very good because the last Magicite to have been released at this point should, the schedule's all weird. I don't know why DNA's made it so weird, but it should be Alexander. And Kuja will be strong. Even if you do decide to go the Sephiroth route, Kuja will still be good because he's magical. Sephiroth is physical. So that will be, getting your magical kill. Not as high priority because it's only like crystals and I think an artifact or whatever. But still good. You're going to want to clear that eventually. And if this helps you do it, awesome. So it is 3 good strengths on the banner, and it's stuff that you're going to want at this point in the game. So I'm actually a big fan of the banner. And now they're going to switch it up on me, and I'll have to reevaluate it in 3 months, but so it goes. But as it stands, if they do keep it the way it is, I would pull on this banner. And I'm going to cosplay for this banner, if it stays the same. I wonder what I'm going to dress up as. I don't know. Could be anything. Kuja. So what's everyone else think of the banner? It's just a better version of her USB one. That's the skinny. USB 1 with sync commands. I haven't gone over the rest of the fest, so that doesn't mean anything yet. I don't know. I don't see where you see Matt for Phantasm. Oh, yeah, so you get... Oh, I actually wasn't aware of that. That the rewards that you got for 6-star actually applied to both versions. So, okay. Yeah, that makes this Kuja stuff a lot more valuable to me, even though I planned on doing the physical kill. It's not just a pet project. getting 6-star moats and EX animal lenses, or animal lens plus, as Global is calling them. Well, we know it will come to us eventually. Alright, well, that was Banner 1. Let's take a look at Banner 2. We got Ignis. Final Fantasy 15. Is it? I don't think I've been doing that bad. "15 single target fire." Looks pretty basic so far. But if I think I remember this festival and how crazy this was. See ingredients. I like ingredients. Six-hit fire commands. Okay. Defend. Here we go. Supreme Tactics. If you've got 3 ingredients, party crit chance 50%, minus an ingredient. Cast it a second time, party fire damage 10%, minus an ingredient. Cast it a third time, party crit chance 100%, minus another ingredient. And cast it again, self-critical damage 50% for 2 turns. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. It's actually... I don't know. It actually doesn't seem that good. Noctis doesn't need crit chance. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to look at his Awakening. Yeah, let's ignore this, because I think the Defend command, I wanted it to be good because it was ingredients-based, like his BSB, but it actually just seems really lacking. So let's go take a look at his Awakening. We'll skip Terra's Limit Overflow for now. Last Resort Mode. Otherwise, Basic Awakening. Fire ability damage 30%, instant cast fire. Okay, so both of these together, it's basically just... Oof. Recoil, 25%. What? So if you use this Awakening and Synchro together, you're gonna blow yourself up. He's cooking himself. I mean, you're instant dual casting 25% strikes on yourself. It's a max HP. So you do at least 50% of your health in a single turn. Instant. He's really going to require some big-ass heals. Hopefully Iris is up to the task. I kind of just like it, honestly. The chase will only trigger once per turn. Yeah, that's true. It'll only chase once per turn. You're right. That's better. There's a fire healing 6-star. This is the stuff you guys gotta tell me. Oh, right. He's a thief. I always think that he's just a sharpshooter. Yeah, yeah. That does help. So what... Yeah, what'll happen is... Unfortunately, the thief ability effect applies first. So you'll use the thief ability, heal yourself, then take the recoil damage. So what you'd want to do is... and then, because you're using an awakening, you would dual cast the ability, and then you would heal yourself afterward. I believe that's how it goes. So you would still be hurting yourself if you decide to combine this with a synchro to dual cast the thief command, which is a lot of damage. Only 25% recoil, which is kind of not awful. It's a lot. And maybe worth hitting 12 times. You think dual cast happens before chases? Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I think you are. I'm thinking of something else. I think actual dual casts, like a Legend Materia, will happen before your second cast of Awakening. So if, say, Papalimo with his Awakening, for instance, casts Chain Viraja, and his Legend Materia procs, what'll happen is he'll Chain Viraja, that's his ability, then the dual cast from his Legend Materia will go off, then the dual cast from his Awakening will go off. Say you have got his USB 1 active at the same time, then the chase from his USB 1 would go off. Well, again, Masamune, it depends. I'll take it if I can support it. Maybe you can't. Maybe the Iris or the mercenary healer that you're running can't handle it. Can the second cast from Awakening proc the LMR? Or LM? The dual cast? What's his... I don't know what LMR you're talking about. I don't know that much about Ignis. Yeah, if you're talking about a dual cast, only a main can. There aren't a lot of materia that can proc off of second casts. Ones that stick out are like Aerith. The healer ones. Imperil Chance. But dual cast can't. So you only actually have a 35% per turn, no matter what happens. Alright, so Ignis is weird. Well, I guess he's only weird because he should be a very unique character, but I can't even... It's hard to even find a use for whatever's going on here. So he turns into a very typical character with a 6-hit sync command and an awakening. So I'm sure he's a good fire character, and Final Fantasy 15 is pretty focused on fire. Because of core, I think, yeah, I mean, Noctis is mains fire. Core, Ignis. Earth only has Noctis and Gladio, right? And Lightning only has Noctis and Aranea. So it's mostly fire. Prompto. How did I forget about Prompto? So Lightning's pretty good too. But everything revolves around Noctis. And Noctis is better fire than everything else. Because of his sync. Unfortunately, I can't answer that question, Ryan, because I never had Ignis's BSB. I don't know how so good it is. Is it so good? Alright, so that's Ignis's stuff. Oh, I forgot to do, yeah, at the cost of one person's damage, Ryan. So it's... So, you know, it's not as good as it sounds to double the damage of one character. I know it's good. I know it can sub in the slot. And it's a slot saver, basically. A team slot saver. Which is nice. So let's go back to Terra's limit overflow. We'll just talk about this briefly. Limit overflows are a different kind of break. It's not a soul break, it's a limit break. So it uses a different bar than soul breaks do. And it's basically just an arcane. An arcane that uses a different bar. And it's more powerful. Also piercing. Part of what makes it more powerful. Terra's is 4-hit. I think I saw a lot of 5 hits. Hers is probably 4-hit because it's dual element. Fire and wind. Alright, Brave Awakening. It's just an awakening with Brave commands. Genesis is old. Genesis is out in global, so I'm not really going to focus on it that much. Noel. We'll just say Genesis is a fire, Final Fantasy VII. Noel is ice and water, Final Fantasy XIII. Pain is water, Final Fantasy X. Genesis Arcane. Genesis Ultra. This is the Genesis banner. Pain's Chain recurs. 3 Glint Plus is Noel. Looks like a fire or a water and ice Glint Plus. Genesis Fire Glint Plus. Current HP minus 99%. What's Heat Recital? This looks like a kind of a unique Glint Plus. 6-hit chase. Okay, that's pretty powerful. As long as you can cover for that massive self-hit. Yeah, that's a good glint. Pains is a typical glint plus for DPS. Ignis is typical glint plus for DPS, even though he's a support character. So they're really just trying to angle Ignis into damage output instead of his usual support role. I don't know how we feel about that. Where he works so well as a support, and your team's probably going to need one. No Star Battle and water. Let me see. Fire, Final Fantasy 15. What is Terra doing on this banner? Other than the fact that she's fire. So is this just a fire banner with water fire banner? DPS version of Ignis? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, actually. Because I think it focuses too much on Genesis and Ignis. Ignis, who can be a very powerful character on even a Phantasm team with animal lenses. And Genesis is in Final Fantasy VII, which contains Cloud, Sephiroth, and Aerith, who can all be animal lensed into and free drawed into extremely powerful characters. So it's not that great for Phantasm. So catch up Fire Banner, even though it doesn't have a fire chain on it. Catch up Fire Banner if you have a fire chain. I feel like 3 months from now, don't we have a really good Fire Banner coming out in this festival for Global? Isn't this just a worse Fire Banner than our current festival? There's going to be 1 or 2 people out there that this banner works for people. Just because of the insane spread of stuff that's on this. And the stuff isn't bad. It's just hard to pin down a reason to pull on it. Because it's just all over the place. Anyway, that's my call on this banner. I don't like it. Can it? Sorry, Tara. Well, I can go find out right now, Mazamune. I don't think it's better than Banner 1 for Phantasm. At least Banner 1 has a Final Fantasy XIV theme for Phantasm. Banner 2 has nothing. It's everywhere. The best part of it for Phantasm is Noel is pretty good in Final Fantasy XIII. Everything is down to a single character, and the characters that have the most relics out for them, Ignis and Genesis, are the weakest parts of Phantasm on the banner. Yeah, Terra. So you wanted Genesis? What comes out? Looks like no tier 3 for Genesis. No tier 2, so 0. You'll have to look for the wave of animal lenses, wave 4. That should be coming out in 3 months in Japan. So 9 months from now for global. Okay, so that was Banner 2. We'll take... actually, I'm going to go over the animations on Banners 1 and 2. It's Tyro Synchro. That isn't Tyro. Unless he turned into a Moogle. Now, you took a long time to get to that. So the animation was weak. Well, let's take a look at the other stuff that comes with it. First command, also weak. Much better. That was cool. That's his hero ability animation, also cool. So the synchro itself, eh. But the hero ability and the second command on the synchro wasn't bad too. Actually kind of liked it. Alara. Very lore-based. One glint per banner. Okay. This is like her BSB2 commands to heal. About a 15,000 heal for that Kirada. Papalymo Awakening. So Alara's wasn't bad. It was alright. Papalymo's got some good animations. Hopefully this doesn't disappoint. I'm always a fan of Sky Lasers, so that's a winner. Kind of basic overall, but still. Alright, Assail also has some good animations. Don't disappoint. Alright. That gets a thumbs up. And we get to see the 6-star Shiva summon. It's pretty good. That was a witch ability in the second slot. They know. Shiva and Witch. That's how you run a sim. We don't have to see the instant turn. Alright, that was a sail. What do we got? Sail Arcane. It's 21 hit. 21 hit Arcane's usually pretty cool. I thought it was kind of crap until that last Ice Boulder sequence. Now I approve. That'll look really cool when it's doing all 20,000s. Kuja Chain. Alright. I guess we gotta do Tyro's Glint Plus on this banner. Oh, I see the Sentinel Shield. Do I have to say why bother every time we're gonna do a Glint Plus on the banners? Okay, so that's banner 1. Ignis Synchro. On banner 2. Alright, show me a powerful first command, because that's the one you're going to probably be looking at a lot. Now use command 2 first. That's the crit chance. Is that his hero ability? I haven't been watching his abilities. Yeah, because I don't recall seeing that animation before. This is the sync command. It's alright, takes a little while. Terra Limit Overflow. I like it. I like it better than our Arcane. Ignis Awakening. I like the animation. It's a little off-brand for Ignis. It's really flamboyant. Because it does more than 3 hits, he did. 4 or 5. And uses a different bar. So you don't use your soul break points to cast it. It does, as we surmise, it damages them after both awakening attacks. And there's only a single new glint. It's just a regular glint. Oh man, I'm just blown away by that animation. Alright, I'm gonna go get a drink. Be back in a couple minutes. Take a break. Then we'll hit banner 3. I see Sephiroth Synchro. I'm terrified. Terrified. Yo. Just gonna eat a piece of pumpkin pie. Then get on with this. Seth Bart's Rem Sync. Lightning Holy Awakening, Squall Holy Awakening. Fire Awakening, not Holy. And Lena's Awakening. Yuna Generation 3 Holy Chain. Five Glint Pluses. Well, it has an Ultra on the banner, so it must suck, right? Even though that's an awesome Ultra. Lena finally got good. Yeah, this banner is insane. I gotta go over it. About time. Lena got good. So 3 syncs on the previous 2 banners. We've had Sync and Limit Overflow. 2 syncs. So this banner just bucks the trend and goes with 3 7-stars. So, format's better. Doesn't necessarily mean the banner's better. But it is. Let's take a look at Sephiroth. Oops. So he gets a 6-hit command. But already has access to Taboo Raid and his hero ability. So not necessarily essential that he gets a 6-hit command. Now take a look at command 2. Instant self crit chance 100%, crit damage plus 50%, cap break 8 for 1 turn. So it doesn't do any damage by itself, even though it will sync with an ability. Also, since this activates first, that synced ability will benefit from this. So pretty good. It's just that Sephiroth with his previous goods is already so good. So while this synchro is a powerful thing in Sephiroth's hands, right? It's not like it's a realm of strength that Sephiroth is unaccustomed to already. So it's a good synchro. I'd be glad to get it. Not hype over it though, yeah. Let's look for some stuff that's worth being hyped over. Bart Sync. Multiplier increases first 2 uses. What does that mean? After 2 uses, the multiplier increases, or the multiplier is increased for the first 2 uses? I think it's good regardless, because even his hero ability is 5 hits. So there's value in the synchro just by offering him the commands to use both this and his hero ability on command 1. Command 2 is what? 1 single overflow? I don't. It's not listed there, but I assume it's overflow. Self quick cast 2 and dual cast Spellblade 1. Chase 3 sync abilities with Self and Wind. That's a really specific status, but good if you want to use it early on in a fight where you're getting diffusions, right? Because he gets 3 stacks of wind. Yeah, he gets 3 stacks with this. So he would have to get one removed for this to be useful. So it's like, it's for Magicite. Because I don't think do you get diffusioned at all in Phantasm? Nope. Alright. Well, then that's not useful at all in Phantasm. But it's still good. It's still good. This is just Magicite use only. Anyway, strong sync for Bartz, who's a really good character. Okay. Moving on. I guess I would put that in the same realm as Sephiroth-ish. Sephiroth is a stronger base character, so it's his sync is less of an improvement to him than Bartz's is to him. But yeah, I knew Rem was a big deal, and now we've got to it. Rem. 15 Holy Dark, Self and Holy 3 stacks. Quick ATB. Which I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I know roughly what it does, but I want to know exactly what it does. So looking on in Lear's. Oh, 2 times ATB speed. Okay, well that's insane. Already that is just crazy. 2 times ATB. I'm assuming for 15 seconds. 6 hit first commands. She gets that for the entire duration, yeah. So this is nuts. Being able to reduce ATB, as people have seen with Lightning and her synchro, is crazy. And this is potentially better than that because it's something you don't have to babysit. You could literally just use her sync first ability paired up with her hero ability, which also comes out in this festival. Right? Yes. 6 Holy chases 2 uses Ether. Don't care about that. So just fast ATB, high quick cast. If you use her Awakening, which is fine because you can easily pair up either her Synchro command or just not use her hero ability at all. Because they're all 6 hits. Whatever. So for 15 seconds, she just becomes a goddess. So this is a thing that exists. Lightning Holy Awakening. Quick cast. So same thing as Kuja. It's fine. Quick cast, dual cast, holy damage increase. Does lightning get access to any holy? Kind of really leaning on hero abilities for holy. I wouldn't mind it. I still only have Agrius. No, I do have Paladin Cecil's Awakening, but he sucks. I would actually rather use Lightning. Lightning's hero ability is Lightning and Lightning, or Holy and Lightning? Well, that's good. So she's a better Holy character than she used to be. It's not, at least not a detriment to the banner. She is a pro tag. And that's probably the biggest deal with this banner is these are all headliners. Sephiroth, Bartz, Rem, Lightning, Squall. And then, you know, I'm not going to sleep on Lena. Well, I'll get to her when I get to her. But she is the healer in Final Fantasy V, and she finally gets really good on this banner. Squall's Fire Awakening. Quick cast, fire damage plus 30% and end fire. The same not so great awakening as his Ice Awakening, but it is quick cast, so yeah, I mean it's alright. It's Squall. If you're forced to use fire in the Final Fantasy VIII Phantasm, it would be better than his Ice, but yeah, with that Squall Renoa banner coming up, it's really going to be hard not to lean on a team that uses Lagunas and Perils. Oh, if he can get triple casted, then that means you could use his Fire Awakening, then his Ice Awakening, and then go nuts. Closer look at Lightning Woke. So what's the difference? Besides Kuja getting high quick cast. Oh, Self and Holy. I did miss that. Yeah, that is pretty good. That is a lot better. Much better. It's not stacking, but I'm assuming there's another way for her to get stacking on the banner. Yeah. For Glit Plus. It is stacking? Oh, it is. Yeah, she gets stacking and Holy. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I would personally be very interested in getting this, because my physical Holy is... Agrius. She would very much like someone to pair up with her. And I guess, as has been mentioned in chat, even his Squall's Fire Awakening would be good with him. Even if you pull his stuff on the Squall Renoa banner. And you decide to base your team around Ice, because this would work with his hero ability. Making Squall an extremely powerful character. I don't know if I'd say that. It's just an awakening. Yeah, she stacks, but yeah, I think his hero ability is 5 hits. So even like the lesser stuff that moved down from the pedestal that Rem was on, Lightning and Squall are still both good. And now let's get to, I think, a really important part of the banner is Final Fantasy V has been without good heals since the beginning of time. Lena Awakening 2. Instant Party Regenga, Protect, Shell, Haste, and High Quick Cast 2. So it's a fight starter. That gives high quick cast 2. Let's take a look at the awakening itself. White Magic Dancer Awakening, dual cast White Magic Dancer, which is both good for White Magic and Dancer for single target heals and those Passion Salsa heals. Also chasing both with a 3000 stock like Aerith. Very powerful fight starter. And it would suck if she had nothing to do after that, even though that's a powerful fight starter. But she does. She does. She has this. A spammable Ultra. Instead, if I had to choose one, I'd rather the spammable USB, yes. But I want both. Well, I would prefer the dual cast for Dancer Awakening. Cura Medica, Regenga, High Quick Cast 2, and Brave Mode. This is a really good USB as is. Let's see what the Brave Mode's all about. Hopefully it's Last Stand. It is. And it triggers off of Dancer abilities. So Lena does get really good on this banner. with mostly this Ultra, believe it or not. But the Awakening's also really good. It's really just those two things. So, been hearing some stuff about Sephiroth's Glint Plus. Self and Dark stacking, instant cast 1/0 soul break cost. This seems basic if you just look at what it does, but if you think about what Sephiroth... Yeah. If you think about Sephiroth's rotation, it is currently USB 1. That's how he gets his stacking. Which costs 500 soul break points, into Awakening, 500 more. Then you get refunded and are able to cast the USB 2. Being able to do his entire combo of doing Glint Plus, Awakening, and then USB 2 on only 500 soul break points, full comboing Sephiroth for just that, this is really, really, really good on Sephiroth. And I would definitely 1000% want this more than his sync, because this buffs the already amazing Sephiroth that we know of right now, where this is just a different way to use him. I'd rather double down on awesome Sephiroth. Next, Rem Glint Plus, Instant Party Last Stand, Self Instant Cast 1. Useful. Her Glint 1, is her first Glint going to be available on Enema Lenses? Shit. That sucks. So her first Glint is really good. I mean, I like these glints because they're those little things that come in useful. Like, just being able to get a free last stand from one of your DPS if it's necessary is a nice thing. It really is. But I wish it didn't take the place of, you know, something else. Yeah, this goes well with her sync, because her sync can supply the stacking. Man, that Rem Glint, regular Glint, is really really a valuable soul break now, I think. Wait, Lightning Glint Plus. It's fine, but seeing what her Awakening does, the fact that it itself provides stacking makes this less useful. But I'm sure it's still fine. But yeah, these have been underwhelming so far. Bart's Glint, Self and Win stacking 250 soul break point. Alright, that's really good for Bart's. Bart's can cast soul breaks all day, or have useful things to cast all day, so sure. And yeah, that's a typical for Squall. Yeah, the Glint Pluses are actually the most underwhelming part of the banner. Sephiroth's amazing. Bart's is good. And then there's the other three. Well, I'm sure it is. It's more, but like, what I'm saying is more of a point of comparison, Ryan. It's Sephiroth's Glint Plus is amazing in every situation. You will never want to run Sephiroth in a different way than that way, where this is a situational usage. So there's a big gap in how good they are. Even though it's fine, I wouldn't mind it. I would want it, in fact. Just having one of my DPS be able to supply last stand to the party. I want that. But this is like character defining shit. There isn't much to say about this banner other than it's easily the best in the festival so far. Highly doubt that 4 and 5 are going to match what this can do. I hope if changes are made, there's not too many. 5 does? I can't wait then. We'll see. Oh, I missed Yuna's chain. Generation 3 Holy Chain. Yes, like it. That's all I have to say about that. I'll start doing animations now while we talk about the banner. I don't know about that. Well, yeah, actually, Edward does end up becoming good. Hope, not so much. Okay. Well, basically everything Sephiroth does is cool as shit, so I was a fan of that. That was actually a good animation. Snow Spell Strike is so stale by this point. So ugly. I actually like a lot of what was going on there. Alright, Rem. Let's see if your animations can live up to how strong mechanically your shit is. So sad that we're not going to get these voiceovers, because they're pretty good. Look at that ATB just fill up. That's her hero ability? Loved that animation. Eh. But it's still 6 hits. Just consider the refill to be a bonus. Squall. No hero ability. Yeah. Finisher animation. Finally something to look forward to as part of an awakening. The overflow hit was good. The 10 hits, not so much. Lena Awakening. I want to see that again. I was looking at chat. I want to see if it's another one of those cute Lena animations. No Moogles. 0 out of 10. It was alright. But 0 out of 10. Unichain? Good. Short and sweet, just like a chain should be. Lightning Holy Arcane? Probably some lightning. No, 13-2 stuff. I don't know. Alright, this is the important animation. Because this is the one you're going to see the most. Come on, Lena. Okay. I have to approve of this. The sorority soul break. It was also short, which is useful, because it's probably going to get cast a ton. Alright, we got 5 Glint Pluses to choose from. It's got to be Sephiroth's. How awesome is this going to be? Oh, just brilliant. Magnifique. Oh, yeah, well, Banner 3, extremely powerful. You sure? Because I don't see Sarah on this banner. I see Sarah, but not Sarah. Alright. Start the music back up and we'll move past Banner 3. There's really not much to say about it. It's just awesome. So it looks very similar to Banner 2 in its makeup. Yes, Sarah is Final Fantasy 1, Sarah is 13. Sarah Synchro. So I really like Sarah, the Final Fantasy Record Keeper character. Let's hope she's good here. Six hit. If Goddess Sniper. Okay, so we'll look at the commands too. The defend command. 1 hit. Quick cast. Ice non-elemental self Goddess Sniper. Oh, this looks very familiar. This is basically Lightning's Synchro 1. Synchro, yeah. Magic Lightning. Magical Ice Lightning. Which means very good. Though it can't be paired up with something like whatever the power chain ability is called, Running Start, right? I think, yeah. But that's not so bad, because there's other ways that you can affect your casting time. What's important is that she can augment her ATB. Yeah, I don't think it's that valuable. I don't think Running Start's that valuable. It is if you're running, like, speedrun Lightning, where she's providing all of her own quick cast. But in a production environment, you know, where she could get it from elsewhere. I don't think it's as important. She's got instant. Yeah, she does. What, 7 hits? So you could just ignore the ATB if you wanted to. You shouldn't. And just stick to her 6-hit synchro command paired up with her hero ability. Yeah, well, so Sarah is actually extremely good. Ice Magic. Paladin Cecil, I hear he eventually gets good. Well, it's not going to be because of this. This is, I'm sure this helps, but what's Paladin Cecil's hero ability? It's a knight. Well, I dislike him as a mind-based character. But I guess it's nice that knights don't have to rely on healing smite as much, right? So Cecil probably gets good because of his sync. So sure, this is fine. Nothing special. Sarah Awakening. This is the one that was supposed to debut for Global, I think. On the Tyro and Alara Summer Banner. Right? It's a good awakening. What? Where did you come from? Oh, is Sarah's right, no, I actually went over that. Sarah's hero ability is only ice. So even though this is ice and water, she's still pretty focused on ice. Instant Party Magic Mind 50% haste. Magical High Quick Cast 2. Magic damage 30%, Self Fortune Teller Awakening. It's very similar to another Moogle's Awakening. Ultimate Dancer Bard Hones rank Quick Cast. Dancer Bard, Lucky Moogle Dance. Party 1500 HP stock, or is it random? Or is it one is Dancer, one is Bard? Yeah, it's random, isn't it? Goddamn dice rolls. Well, he hasn't gotten anything for years. He was a... No, did his USB was a debuff and a haste the party, right? So yeah, he hasn't ever been a buffer. The entry isn't bad. I'm powerful even. Unfortunately, it's a magic buff in Final Fantasy VII. Great. Thanks. Oh, and here we have another Final Fantasy VII character. Physical. One of the million very powerful physical characters in Final Fantasy VII. Yuffie's second awakening. This one, Earth. Is it just an Earth version of her water awakening? No, not as good. Also, not dual cast. Oh, it is party physical blank. Yeah, this ain't so hot. Did she get a hero ability? Maybe, allows her to use both of her awakenings together to just go infinite? Not yet? Well, I anxiously await the day where that happens. Until then, this isn't that great. Tella's Awakening is old, just Earth Magey. Sarah Arcane, it may not be old by this point for global, because it was supposed to debut but didn't, just like her Awakening. But 21 hit Ice and Water, sure, I'll take it. On a powerful character like Sarah. Instant Party Regenga Last Stand and 75% damage resist 1 on a USB? Seems weak. I guess not. I mean, like, if you pair it up with a Medica, you could technically consider a 75% damage resist to be a pre-Medica. So it's like a healer soul break, but you also need to run a healer. Yeah, I do agree with that. It should be spammable, but yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that. Tele Generation 3 chain, Earth. Okay. Sarah Glint Plus, instant 500 soul break points. That's fucking awesome. You get a Glint Plus, instant area effect, defense resistance mine, minus 70%, self instant cast 1 for free. That's not bad. It's, you know, on-demand defense resistance debuff. You know, you can use that whenever you want, you know, for occasions where you know you're going to be doing extra damage. So this isn't bad right here. Tella just gets a stacking flash. So Tella's just a good character, a solid character. There's nothing special going on there. And 2 regular glints. This is kind of like, format-wise, a pretty weak banner. There's not much to talk about here. It's too bad, because Sarah is really powerful. This is a good glint. But it occurred somewhere else. Because it doesn't show up as new here. Oh, it comes back on the Final Fantasy 13 banner? Well, one of these days I will get to it. The Final Fantasy 13 banner is after this festival, right? Okay. So I'm not in any hurry to get to it. month to 2 months after the festival. So it's pretty distant. So this banner, unfortunately, just doesn't make any sense. More Final Fantasy VII. Mage buffing Final Fantasy VII. The worst version of Yuffie. It's Sarah and then everything else. And he just attracts excrement. That's what Cecil does. Alright, let's watch some animations. No, because I play this one all the time, it never gets flagged. Hopefully that stays the same. We'll have to see what Final Fantasy VII tracks are like after the remake release. Alright, Sarah Sync. I usually like her animations. Good start. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see the UA. Or hero ability. That was cool. I mean, my like for Sarah may just be the fact that all of her animations are cool. Here's her hero ability. It's like a soul break! Alright. Well, I highly doubt the other two animations I have to look at are going to top that. Cecil may not be all that effective, but I did like his awakening animation. There's only so much you can do with 4 hits. I don't think I've seen his arcane. What do we got? Good. We do have a glint. It's Saris. Maybe it'll be special? Excellent. Alright, and take a break for a couple minutes, and then we'll get to Banner 5. All right. Banner 5. Lightning Synchro. Lightning comes back. Oh my god, there's nothing new here. Oh. I'm scared. Send this one to the chopping block. So, yeah, I'm not going to go in depth on anything here. Maybe Noctis' Synchro, because that's going to debut in our festival coming up. But Lightning Synchro, obviously we know that's really good. Luna Freya Synchro is good. Water Mage. Luna Freya Awakening, Cloud Awakening 2, that's his Dark Awakening. Iris, oh please, Iris is Ultra. Iris Ultra is here. So that's really good. Because she's a really good healer and the Final Fantasy 15 healer. Let's take a look at Noctis' Sync. Looks typical so far. Self-high quick cast 1? That's weird. That's not typical at all. I haven't seen that before. Six times single fire non-elemental. Multiplier depends on Phantom Flame level. Oh yeah, by the way, Noctis' Synchro makes him fiery. So he is an N-Fire character now. Instead of the triple elemental that he was back in the Odin era. And that's why I was talking about Noctis earlier being primarily fire. I think I was talking about that when I was going over Ignis. Yeah, he gets the sync during our current global festival. That's why I'm going over this, even though it's technically a repeat for Japan. Instant ATB1 is Phantom Flame level greater than 1. I'm assuming that's supposed to be an if instead of an is. So if your Phantom Flame level is 2 or more, he gets instant ATB. But by using the command, you remove one of your Phantom Flame levels. Is that the way this works? The animation explains it. So you give yourself Phantom Flame levels by using the second command. But if this thing's to be trusted, that means you would have to use the second command twice in order to get Phantom Flame level 2 to provide yourself with the instant ATB from the first command. So, am I right in saying that this probably combos well with his Awakening? Where you use your Awakening so that delinks all abilities, so you dual cast the second command for 2 Phantom Flame levels, then you use the first command, so you just alternate and give yourself instant ATB every other turn? Or just spam command 1 for no instant ATB? Yeah, I guess. It's kind of like how Sarah was. But Sarah has an awesome hero ability, so she's a little better. Yeah, so it looks like the... Why give instant cast? Nothing here. Does anything here give instant cast 1? I don't. Oh. Yeah, but I haven't looked at the hero abilities very much. So it has a 3-hit fire power chain. Good if he's getting paired up with Core, I suppose. Because it allows Core to use the 6-star Samurai ability. But otherwise, I guess it's good if you're just using Noctis as Synchro. If I was going to use... If I personally was going to use Noctis, since I have his Awakening, I'd have that. And since that gives high quick cast, then his Power Chain ability would be pretty awful. Yeah, I think Noctis' Synchro and Awakening look like they're made for each other. Yeah, but for every usage of Command 1, if you're not using Awakening, every usage of Command 1 would require one more turn of this. Which isn't that strong of an attack. So I wouldn't want to stock it up. Ideally, I'd want to end the fight with Phantom Flame level, 1 or 0. Yeah, it's a weird version. I like it with his Awakening, and his Awakening is powerful. I mean, 100% crit rate and high quick cast. Yeah. Yeah, I like those two together a lot. Is there anything special about Cloud's Awakening? Because I don't think Global has this yet. I may have missed it. Let's see. Yeah, 2, I'm guessing it doesn't dual cast. Kind of like Kane's Awakening. Yeah. Extra charge. Gain extra charge using heavy ability. Yeah, that's not good. The heavy abilities are weighted towards having 2 charges of heavy. So it's not like you can spam the 6-star heavy ability, which means you're forced to use the 5-star to generate. And that's going to suck. That's going to drag down your DPS no matter what. Yeah, it's an improvement over his USB 3, but not really of the level that it needs to be. So Iris, I talked about Iris recently. I did a preview of the Final Fantasy 15 banner for Luna Freya, I remember. Iris is awesome. Her Awakening and Ultra make her extremely powerful. Basically just another Aerith, a side grade of Aerith. Could combo with USB 3 because would they pair with each other? So every time you used the heavy ability, you would gain 2 charges. in that case, that's not bad. You know, being able to 8-hit every single turn, also imperil every single turn. That Aphmau's really good awakening. That's nice. I remember liking her Ultra. Iris is... really good Ultra. Right, yeah. I was looking at it, I was like, this isn't that great, but then I remember the status is, whenever she uses a white magic ability, it gives real quick cast. So I remember liking that a lot. That's especially good in Phantasm. Zac Ultra 2 or Ultra 3, I don't know. But he does get End Wind finally. Rage Mirage, Raging Storm. I think I went over this recently. This seems familiar. Jeez, that's really good. Every turn 6-hit chase plus physical high quick cast 1 to the front row. That's a power creep ultra. That is that's really powerful as far as the DPS ultra goes. Sacking Dark Glint for Cloud, normal Healer Glint for Iris, and Zac Stacking Glint. Yeah, this banner is weird. There's nothing new on it, which means it's pretty likely to be shuffled or changed. I don't know. I don't know if I call it top heavy. Like, if everything here stays, the Iris and Aphmau stuff is great for the mid end. And it's just a good banner. It's pretty solid. Yeah. I wouldn't get my hopes up too much for it, because it's probably going to change. And I think changing even 1 or 2 things on this banner could make it tank pretty quick. Yeah, luckily Cloud doesn't seem like it takes up that much space. Yeah, only 2 relics. Say Lightning Synchro gets taken off the banner, it would be severely impacted. I depending on what I get replaced with. I mean, the fact that Iris and Aphmau have both of their awakenings and ultras here makes this a very interesting banner to keep an eye on, because that's a mid-end stuff that I'm really interested in. Yeah, it looks like, you know, for me, banners 1, 3, and 5. But they'll probably end up turning into just 1, 3. And hopefully it doesn't get impacted any more than that. Because I'm going to have a bunch of I should have a bunch of Mithril, I think, by the time this festival comes around, because I'm not spending much during this festival. So I'm going to want a reason to spend. You got to make sure that you give me a good reason to spend, or else I'm not going to. Let's take a look at this. So this is this right here is that festival, and this is kind of a rough outline of what's going to be happening during that time. It's a Final Fantasy IX event with the debut of the limit overflows. Final Fantasy 2 with Joseph. Final Fantasy 4. Oh no, you got a 4 on the banner, but it's a Holy Black Chocobo event? But with Dark Cecil, I think this is the wrong banner. I think I messed up here. It must be a different event. Oops. I do think 1 is better than 5. Yeah. Yeah, probably. In its current form, I don't see myself skipping 1. What's up, Phoenix? X-Death gets good. So this is that Final Fantasy 13 event you were talking about. Which is, I'm gonna go, I'll take a look at it in a second. But none of the rest of this seems like stuff I'm not that interested in any of this. Squall and Renoa, and then I'm gonna black out until maybe this Final Fantasy 13 event. And then I'm gonna black out again until the festival. So I'm gonna have a ton of Mithril. Give me a reason to spend it. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. It says Final Fantasy 1, so I automatically assume not. Yeah, it's rare in fests, but do we have... Is there another Final Fantasy 1 event? Is the Final Fantasy 1 Phantasm out yet? Then I'm not really that interested in picking up Final Fantasy 1 things. Because there's always going to be a banner that comes out with the event. And unless... If I don't know what the Phantasm is and I don't know what's on the banner that comes out with the event, it's too early to be pulling for Phantasm. No, this isn't the 13 event you were talking about. This is. Yeah. Okay. So it's Final Fantasy VIII and then Summerfest for me. Vivi, Limit Overflow, Beatrix Sink. Are they serious? Yeah, I was just taking a peek to see if it interested me at all. Oh, Queena. Queena, the best character that Final Fantasy has ever released. I gotta take a look at his Awakening. It's Queena's Awakening. Takes 3 support. I mean, that's a pretty awesome buff for a turn, but... Only a 1,000 self-cure chase support? I mean, it's pretty awesome. Because it's Queen eating frogs. That's actually it's a disappointing awakening. Yeah, Queen of the Legend of Materia 2 is really powerful. Yeah, that's the thing about Tyro is that crit chance buff is roughly 30 seconds. And that's the more important part. It's constant. Forbidden Cross? Recoil attack for Dark Mages? Okay. Yeah, it does look... Will I get up to 350 Mithril again? Wait and find out. Final Fantasy VIII. Well, who knows? You know, Mithril expenditure isn't how good the banner is, it's how my pulls go. Over? Why not both? I mean, from now until next festival, no, who needs money? I'm gonna have over 1,000 mithril. I can just do both. I'm sure it's fine for most applications, but it has a hard cap, and that's the problem. It can never do more than 100,000 damage. And, you know, that's not good. Yeah, I hope you get the stuff so you can test it. Sketch, there's a difference between fine and comparing it to the stuff available in the rest of the game. Like, there should be a bonus benefit to only doing 5 hits. I guess that's the point here. If you're only doing 5 hits, like Squalls, for instance, it's fire and ice. That means if you have Squall's fire and ice awakenings, you can triple cast this ability. That's a bonus. Beatrix's suffers a setback, a drawback, in the fact that it caps out at 100,000, which means it doesn't matter if you cap break, use her sync and her awakening together, like with a 5-hit ability, that all of a sudden that has a damage potential of 150,000, because every hit is going to have a potential to hit for 30k. A single hit overflow ability will never have that. It's nothing but drawbacks. So it's the worst I've seen. I'm just explaining why I think it's the worst. You think this one works? What is it? I'm terrified to know. Beatrix's hero ability benefit is the fact that it's not healing smite. Snows. Let's see it. Yeah, that's pretty awful. It does grant him damage reduction barrier 40%. I can post the exact line. But that's going to be gone by the next time he takes an action. So you can't ever count on actually getting 6 hits. Yeah, it probably is better than Beatrix's. Oops. Yeah, what is in Snow's League? Oh, this is my Mana Core team. No friggin' wonder. Wasn't watching. I was just listening to attacks hit and things not dying. Joseph's the shit, man. Oh, 8. 8 is actually a legitimate Ice Monk. I think Joseph gets good too, doesn't he? At least I remember thinking that when I saw the Final Fantasy II event. Well, anyway, I'm out of here. Today, tomorrow, is Saturday, which means it's Final Fantasy 1, which means it's time to pull 17 ROPs. So that's what the next stream will be about. Have a good night.